having my mother's people that side, in now Bangladesh, I was really affected to what happened to my father. My father was a very upright patriot, and he used to live in Lahore cantonment. Right? And it was not good for him to go and hear whispers that your son is a traitor. And this was repeated to me. At that point of time, I decided I will live and die in this Pakistan. Pakistan was the finest experiment of nationhood in its time. Two countries, one nation, 1,000 miles apart, right? But it was destroyed by the ambitions of a few people. We have complementary economies. From there, jute, newsprint, tea, maximum this thing. From here, textiles and other sub-products. So you can do away with tariffs straight away. The one thing we must say is that our relationship should not be seen as anti-Indian. India is a huge economy, right? In fact, India should see this as a model. Maybe we can revive SAARC the way SAARC was really thought about, right? Maybe we can have no visas and no tariffs, on that. But what I'm saying is we can start with Pakistan and Bangladesh, which was an existing economy already there till 1971. I'm not going to get into the diplomatic of apology or not apology, what to do, etc. That is between the governments to decide, and I have nothing to do with it. But my suggestion is put 71 behind us, right? Put 71 behind us. Let's get on with our lives. My only sister, we were one brother, one sister. My only sister is buried there. She died at the age of 28 and she's buried in Banani graveyard. And for me, it was an emotional thing to go and visit her. The other thing which I'm a little emotional about is the unit that my father raised in 1949 as a major on 7th February 1949. That is 2nd East Bengal, which is known as Junior Tigers. I was 3 at that time when he raised the battalion. I was commissioned in the same battalion when I was 19, a lot of history with the battalion. I was adjutant of the battalion. And my unit, which I thought was close by, was not there. It was in Jessore. So I was there as a 4-year-old in that unit. I was commissioned in the same location in 1965 as a 19-year-old. For me, it was really emotional to go back to the same location maybe 60 years later, right? So they were very nice about it. But more than that, which was icing on the cake, was they said that you've lectured at the National Defence College many years, so why don't you go and lecture, why don't you go and not lecture but meet the National Defence College people. I went there, met with the Commandant. Similarly, I went to the Command Staff College, which is next door, met with the Commandant. And above all, I got an occasion to meet with the Chief Advisor, Mr. Mohammad Yunus, whom I knew earlier. I was stunned by their love and affection. So I go back to what the Quaid-e-Azam said in 1946, 2 countries, 1 nation. Right? When he thought about a united Bengal, and when people came to him and he thought about one Pakistan on this side and said, okay, what does it matter what the name is, we are one country, we are one nation. So it was quite a trip in that sense. But it was, somebody asked me this thing about this thing, and I tried to repeat the Pepsi Cola slogan when Coca-Cola was declared as the official drink of the Tokyo Olympics. And Coca-Cola said the official drink of this thing, Pepsi Cola, came up with nothing official about it. So there was nothing official about it. It is very important to learn from your lessons. What is we made wrong? How can we rectify it? Don't sit down and lament about it. do something to change it, do something positive. Bloodshed did take place in 71. Bloodshed did take place in 1965. Why did our people sent into Kashmir in Operation Gibraltar, which was a beautiful plan? Operation Gibraltar was a beautiful plan. It was executed 2 years too early. There was not enough training, not enough logistics, not enough preparation, right? And when the commander SSG, who was to provide the core of the troops, Colonel S.G. Mehdi, man of great intellect, he actually wrote a letter to GHQ and said, this is wrong. He was told to destroy that letter, right, and all letters, that copies of it, and subsequently he was posted out, message. Same things happened in 71. The commanders on the ground, which was Lieutenant General Sabda Yaqub and the governor, Admiral Hassan, were saying something else. They say, yes, we can execute this plan. We can crack down. We can restore order. But the country will break apart. The reaction will be there. So they took the first part of the plan and they executed it brilliantly. Of course, without Admiral Hassan and without Sabda Yaqub, they executed brilliantly, and they restored law and order over that thing. But they created conditions for a civil war, which did take place, of which India took full advantage of it. So, obviously, the people who did that in 65 and the people who did that in 71 were never held accountable. There are no lessons learned. We went into Balochistan in 1973. I was among them. They were one of the units which went in. 44 Punjab, later on force in. Nobody had learned anything. Nobody had bothered to learn anything. You know, what happened in East Pakistan in 71 should not have been repeated. And I still think that the army, when it is given an order, it does execute the order. And it executes it very well. The problem lies in the planning of it. The planning, the thing is, the execution of it, yes. In some cases, I think the troops have to be trained to exercise restraint, right? And that is, any disciplined troops will exercise that restraint. I made a mistake in 71, there's no doubt about it. I made a mistake, emotional mistake, and I have never said otherwise. I've never tried to cover it up. It's written in black and white in print. It was there, right? I was charged, sheeted for it, right? Thereafter, I don't want to go into details, how I got a battlefield promotion to the rank of major, how my company till today in 44 Punjab and Force in still bears the name Sehgal Company. I don't want to go into details about it because that would be, going on my detractors which say that I'm trying to glorify myself. Our problem was the personal detraction. And one must, I tell you, what Hazrat Ali said about somebody. If you've done somebody a favor, fear most from him. There was a scoundrel, was with me in college, then PMA, then I used to pay his mess bills also. Then later on, he went to jail trying to overthrow the government, utter conspiracy case. Right? He was the son of a general. Right? He came out destitute, according to him. He had lands and all everything, but he joined me in my company. Right? 12 years he remained my payroll. 12 years. Not one. In between 2-3 years he went away to get married in London, came back. Then again, my father, while dying, he told me one thing. He said, your friendship was totally misplaced. Has this man ever given you a drink of water even? So they will not come to you till I am dead. But after I am dead, he'll come back. And this is what happened. After my father died, This chap came back, and again stayed that thing. And I don't want to go into details, but I then parted company with him by giving him all the procurement things in the army, because I didn't want to give bribes in the army. It's on record. Let me explain this to you. I was the agent for the sniper rifles, Mannlicher. I was the agent for the AUG, Army Universal Gun. I was the agent for the Pinsgauer. I was the agent for the 5-ton tactical truck. I was the agent of PRB, the ammunition. I was the agent for the upgunning of the 155 How, right? I was the one who brought the the SK-105 thing, which led to the thing, etc. But when it came to a question of bribing some people, the line drawn, I decided never to do any government contract. From 1992 till today, I've only done 2 government contracts. By mistake, led into it. In both, I have not been paid. But I've never done a government contract, never anything to do with government. I have nothing, no single government, all my contracts are single. This man, he took the contract, he took the thing, he made a lot of money. He made money on the sniper rifles, he made money on the AUG, he made money on the Pinsgauer, he made money on the 5-ton tactical truck. He made money, he bribed people, right? Then, second thing, he became NAB. They started this plea bargain thing. So they used to put a 10 crore thing against somebody, the businessman. The businessman then used to pay them 2 crores and they used to pay 3 crores and get off the plea bargain. Ultimately, the plea bargain was sort of nonsense, because this is on record. I'm not just doing it. Go and open the inquiries in the National Accountability Bureau, all against this man. He unfortunately gets onto the social media and he does research on somebody else's name. He does that. He gets hold of somebody and said, you do the research, and then he comes up with all the research. It took 2 hours for our IT people to use artificial intelligence and said, this is his work. And before that, everything because they'd been doing is that 2 hours it took them. Their artificial intelligence, this is his work, right? He cannot put his name there. And a lot of people have worked for me. Some of the people were from my college, some of my unit and all that, Some stayed with me, some died, some went away. This chap usually gets hold of 1 or 2 of them, the disgruntled few, and he uses them as parameters. I would not like to say, but he is very clever. He is very clever. He will twist something. He will take a fact and embellish it into fiction. But I repeat to you one thing. This scoundrel does not have the courage to put his name in. He's at the moment having a go at the Pakistan army. While sitting in USA, right? Have the courage to come back here and talk about the Pakistan army. I talk about the Pakistan army. If I disagree with the Pakistan army, I will talk about it, right? Right? I have the thing. I will not leave this country. I will live in this country and I'll die in this country, right? I will not go and from there talk about things, etc. And what is he accepting? He's doing the same thing he was doing in the attack conspiracy case, trying to undercut the military hierarchy, right? This is nonsense. So you have professional detectives and you have personal detectives. You go through this.